Oh, hey, Scorpio. How are you? It's MJ from Alta Love, and I'm doing your 2020 yearly reading. It's this intuitive reading, so it might not always look like traditional tarot. It's basically whatever intuish reigns supreme for you guys. It's my intention to offer you divine guidance and loving clarity. And I usually just advise the typical thing of like, if it resonates, great. If it doesn't resonate, you can just leave it behind. Trust your own intuition more than anyone else's, ultimately. If it does resonate, that's a prompt usually to book a private reading and or coaching session to gain some clarity, specificity for the situations that you're living. So this is a reading for Scorpios, anyone who resonates with Scorpio, and this is for 2020. Thanks for being here, by the way, you guys. I really appreciate your love, support, comments, subscribes. Okay, so Scorpio, right away, there's this energy of coming out of lack, and I'm hearing this sense of sort of throwing caution to the wind and just having a good time, letting your hair down, that kind of thing. This could definitely be energy around like the new year, you know, like bringing in the new year with a sense of celebrating yourself, celebrating life. Laying to rest all the stuff that you've been through. You've laid to rest some things that you've been emotionally invested in, and essentially you are endeavoring to make manifest a new beginning in your perception, a new beginning in your belief systems, which then might trigger you walking away from situations that you've been invested in. But I get a sense that there's something, so after you shapeshift your perspective and then you firmly put to rest some old belief systems, probably pertaining to the money, the how you perceived transaction and money and that in that thing, that kind of energy, it leads you to realize that there were disempowered either people in your world or you, there was an abuse of power. So down here there's the Lover's card, and this is usually to me symbolic of self-love and empowering the unity aspect of you know, the binary soul. So it's rising into unity consciousness basically versus entangling self with other. And that makes a lot of sense in the context of this reading, because there's a tower moment that comes down. And this is interesting as well, because there's a tower moment that comes out of you laying something to rest and walking away. And then it might well be that you making this choice triggers a kind of fallout of different people in your life that were bringing messages to you. Because we have a Magician, and then we also have a Queen of Wands in the reverse. So this is somebody, this Queen of Wands, I feel, is somebody delivering ideas, like mental and pentacle related. And the Queen of Wands signals to me somebody that appears to you to be intuitive, mystical, spiritual, what have you. And yet they're coming under this magician in reverse. They're coming out in the reverse. And then there's the tower moment, and there's this energy, there's this messenger type energy that's coming out as well in the reverse, which again is a distortion of power, somebody who's hiding aspects, or somebody who's not being fully in their integrity when they're communicating these messages to you. And I feel like that's part of what brings this tower down, having forced you to sort of walk away from this as a creative, or a sense of fulfillment, like building something up with this person and then realizing, oh shit, they're not in their integrity, or they're not fully in their power, and then realizing that the messages that they've been delivering to you have been distorted. It's all like smoke and mirrors energy. It's not, it's because the tower's here, it's not been like, it's nobody's fault as much as it's sort of karmic situations that have to come down in order to learn the lesson. And then then ultimately where that takes you to is taking your own perspective and practicing mega self-love here. The self-love energy down here, I feel, is really what's going to see you through rebuilding yourself in the 2020 year. There is a death card here. It's in the reverse, but to me it's signaling the whatever it is that you're laying to rest, people, situations, again, more aligned with inner, like the perspective around money, the perspective around living a good life. And you're wanting to celebrate life, you're wanting to have a good time, and I feel like you achieve this kind of higher state of being, or this vision of a higher place for you, which prompts you to lay to rest certain belief systems, and then that triggers a bit of a fallout with some people that are in your life abusing their power, pretending to be one way when actually something else internally is going on. And there's a sadness, I gotta say, like when I feel into the 8 of Cups energy, there is a sadness here. There is and the tower moment warrants some sort of grieving process as this situation gets torn down, basically. This Queen of Wands surrounded by these reversed people, the page, the magician. There is a hardcore abuse of power going on here, and the messages they're delivering are not supporting you at all, and so the tower has to come down. And then look, there's the sorrow card here. And then that is ultimately what brings you firmly to, okay, I gotta get serious about self-love. I gotta get serious about empowering myself as an individual so that I can continue to have fun, so that I can continue to make up my own mind for myself. And so that when I endeavor to go into business partnership or go into romantic relationship, that I know myself in my integrity, so that I'm not attracting this type of manipulation or this type of abuse of power. This is part of the whole aspect of new paradigm world, new earth. It's on the individual level, but then that extends to the world as we know it. This profound healing in our integrity has to take place. So for many on that path, we have to disentangle ourselves from codependent relationships that, either way, no matter what, codependency is always an aspect of low-level entanglement out of fear. And so we need to empower ourselves to rise out of those codependent relationships, to then give ourselves more breadth and more space to grow in our integrity and in our authenticity. And that can often warrant these grieving processes, these these death processes on an egoic level, because it shatters our sense of self if we peel back a veil and see that somebody isn't who we thought they were, or see that even to the point of who we thought we were, that's not who we are anymore. And that's why we see other people in a different way. So it's not about blaming, it's not about pointing fingers and saying these people are horrible. It's more to do with energy. It's more to do with our own personal potential and our desire to fulfill that potential. And people that don't, people that aren't desiring that fulfillment, they're rather staying locked into or bound to disempowered patterns out of fear. And again, this is more and more subtle energy as the evolution of our species continues. That's whole part of these last sort of 5 to 10 years, or different cycles for everybody depending on their placements. But certainly this community, the new paradigm community, it's been years of inner work and healing, and then moving, and then putting ourselves out there in that regard, and then that, each phase or each chunk of lifetime that we go through, we see different things about ourselves, about other people, and that warrants movement. That warrants, again, with the 8 of Cups here, it warrants walking away from situations, moving towards situations. And then that always means, usually, that there are certain people that we walk away from, that there are certain situations that we walk away from. People, yeah. So yeah, this is a little bit heavy duty here, Scorpio. It's like you've been maybe trying really hard to control stuff in your life, and I just feel like with that eight of Cups and the Tower coming down, and or you've been being controlled by manipulation energy, and the relinquishing of that control, the dissolution of that control, and or the shining light on that manipulation. There's some grieving to do this year, basically. But I of course, with the energies, the astrological energies, I must say that you will be supported. You will be supported. So also, Scorpio, another card has come up, exhaustion. So it definitely feels to me like some of you guys have been working really, really hard. The hard work feels a little bit like going around in circles, which again warrants this whole shift, like a bit of a shift of, fuck this shit. I'm going to have fun. I want to celebrate my life. I'm going to lay to rest this weird codependent people that make me feel small kind of energy, and I want to move in a new direction, mainly toward my own self-care and self-love. This self-love and self-care card kind of draws you into this sort of, again, healing process of going into the silence, going into the void, healing, basically, like healing from these situations of control and exhaustion, from old paradigm, from feeling fearful around money. There's never going to be enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. And then just being like, fuck this. There's plenty. I'm going to have fun. I know my worth. I know my mind. I know what I believe, and this ain't it. So I'm going to walk away. Yes, there's definitely emotional entanglement here with these players, and the Tower moment coming down. So that warrants the healing, the sorrow, the feeling the reverb of walking away from this emotionally entangled situation, which is where it warrants to me that this is definitely a fairly long-standing business relationship or romantic relationship that felt like you two were building something up, possibly a small community or a small team of you, building a startup or putting work in together to create this moreness. And it just felt like running on a treadmill. It felt like it and no doubt, right, in the context of this reading, you believed, but then these people don't believe. They're not where you're wanting to go. They're not invested in what you thought it was. And so the tower moment is what brings this relationship to an end, or it all just comes crashing down because the people you've been surrounding yourself with don't have the same belief, and they're not, by the looks of how the cards are placed, they're not actually doing the work to get there, but you are, because you're choosing to make manifest this, like, I believe in myself, I know my thoughts, right? And so it's directing itself to the self-love card to get over the hump of this profound shattering of illusions. But that's the 2020 astral as well. Like, it's not to say that there aren't firm foundations in the ground with regard to this new beginning. It could just be that there's a sort of a recycling of energy. So the pillars are set, but if every player isn't firmly there, then you have to assess that. And that's what the self-love and this new perspective is helping you to see, that, oh shit, okay, I got to get rid of this and I got to put these down to be able to build to the next level. Because the 4, which is the energy of 2020, is really all about building. And that's why I feel it's probably all coming up to a head now, Scorpio. Is like, you're ready to build, you're ready to move things forward, you're ready to have fun. Like, that's the 3 of Cups there. You're just like, I want to have fun, I want to believe in myself and trust in my dreams and blah, 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 blah. And it's, you're ramping yourself up is what's helping you see the distortion in your field, the people that aren't aligned with you, the situations that aren't working for you anymore. So the self-love card reigns supreme in this reading, as far as you are having to do some shape-shifting to build your life to that next level. Yeah, and you're definitely going within. This feels, if I'm intuitive as always, this really does feel like the first sort of 3 to 6 months of 2020. So I'll probably do a recap midway through the year for the 13 signs. Ooh, hello there. Hello. There's one card that flipped out. Yeah, that makes sense as well. So you're really doing the inner work now. You're ramping up. You're taking your belief system. You're letting it drive you into that unity space of self-love, having to dissolve certain working situations and or romantic situations that aren't in true alignment with the higher self that you picture yourself as. And then what you're doing, I'm hearing this, you're gonna go it alone for a bit. You're truly now endeavoring this transformational energy, Scorpio. Well done, you. And so within that, yeah, you're aware, okay, I gotta own this, I gotta shapeshift my reality, I gotta get rid of these kind of false messengers, these people that don't know me or don't truly have my best interest at heart. And again, it's not blaming them, it's just the fact that that's not where they vibrate. You know, they're not people endeavoring their own fulfillment necessarily. They're just in their own bass tones, right? So like, you decide, fuck this, love you, leave you, let the tower come down, let myself heal from exhaustion and patterns of control, which is patterns of manipulation ultimately. Let yourself do the self-love work, and then be open to receive some awesome energy here, Scorpio. The receptivity card to me is basically like, it's all lined up. So you know that this tower moment here is the final phase of the clear out that you need to do to go to the next level in your life. And ultimately, most of it's already done. So really, you just have to be open to receive, but you have got to go it alone. This last, it's like it's like you can see the finish line, but there's a bunch of shit. Again, there's a bunch of kind of bullshit in the way of you getting to the finish line. So you're like, right, I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to do the inner work necessary to love myself, heal myself, rise myself to exactly where I know I want to go. And then I'm going to open myself up to receive it. And just this is the first time I've said this in any of the yearly readings, but I get a sense that this is like the 3 to 6 month mark. No other reason than intuition. Like, you're taking a new beginning into the new year. It shines light. You want to ramp up. You want to have more fun. It shines light on the weights, on the distortion, on the people, because these are people. Could be a fire sign female. It could be, and again, to me, I feel it's more to do with this Queen of Wands, but then it's connected to the Page of Swords, the Page of Pentacles. So it is related to, you know, people manipulating your mind, and then that's affecting your pentacle. That's affecting more messages around positive money coming in versus the same old bullshit. So you're cleansing the tower comes down and you see the shades, basically. You see the distorted shades of this Queen of Wands entanglement, which inevitably, this is where I'm getting that feeling of going it alone. You're going to break free, go it alone, and work on the self-love and open yourself to receive the real messages that you need to fulfill your potential here, Scorpio. Because you are transforming yourself, and you've technically, around the reading, you've already died to the old self. You can't go back to whatever was before. So now you're just like, fuck it, I want to have a good time. So you release the lack energy, and then you releasing the lack energy and rising, it does help you help you to see the debris of this tower moment that needs clearing out, which might warrant some emotional healing. And shape-shifting of you know, they're one and the same, being able to shape-shift and disentangle from these disempowered players in your world. Again, the sadness, the sorrow, there's healing around exhaustion. I feel like some of you have been in a loop where you've been working really, really hard, and enough, right? So transformation energies, mega inner work, mega love, mega healing, and then open yourself to receive. And I feel like some pretty amazing stuff is going to start to come in for you, Scorpio, that relate to your ultimate dreams, because the self-love card is the unity piece. Yeah, it's like the fight energy. You're tired of it. I think, you know, that is often what happens when we endeavor this kind of healing, is that we're tired of the bull, we're tired of the fighting, we're tired of the fucking chaos and the drama. Yeah, you're just wanting to play more, playful. You want to just be your childlike self. You want to heal from all this bullshit. You want to have friends and be friendly. Yeah, whatever this situation is around the tower moment and these reverse players, like, this is some bullshit. This is not new to you. I feel like you're just coming to the end of this cycle of putting up with it. So, and you're ready to move beyond illusion, taking your courage, taking your own power and infinite possibilities. Nice one, Scorpio. Boom. Scorpio, the thing is with this reading is, like, you're finally listening to your own inner voice. And you're realizing, within the receptivity and the healing card, you're realizing that you are it. Like, that you're mega awesome, basically. Juicy, ripe for the plucking. You know, like, you have fruit coming off every branch. You have mega juicy abundance in you. And so you're tired of being entangled with people that either don't see that, or same, they don't recognize that in themselves, and so they can't help you embody that fruitful tree. And that is inevitably, like, what you're endeavoring here this year, is like you trusting your inner voice, doing the ultimate healing of self-love, coming back into the unity space. You're gonna do it alone. You know, you're gonna do this on your own and access your playfulness, your possibilities, your receptivity from within the inner work that you're endeavoring this year. And that is ultimately going to lead you to really, really great success in your life, and eventually, like, in your family life and all of that kind of stuff. And this is also warranting, you've been very patient with everything. This card also came up, which is before the reading. It's popped up again, so warrants it. But it's the same about you going within, doing the healing, listening to your inner voice, having patience. And you, in essence, Scorpio, whoever this resonates with, you're really rising your spiritual maturity. You're coming into greater mastery in your inner understanding, your inner and understanding of manifestation, law of attraction. You're realizing that all this low-level bullshit doesn't serve the evolution of yourself, and so you're going into the healing and then rising with this greater sense of knowing, greater sense of maturity, I feel like you're already a really patient person, and that it's more about invoking more playfulness and healing from the exhaustion, the control, and the manipulation that you've been entangled with, maybe for lifetimes, right? Usually these kind of situations on a karmic level are like repeats. There are people and situations and energetic entanglements that are to do with karma that's been ongoing for a while. And because we're now living on this great awakening and paradigm shift on this planet, it's finally like a freedom break. It's like a gate where we can finally go, yes, okay, like I can break free from this. Basically, I can heal this karma. It's not necessarily what it looks like. It's not, about holding hands and singing Kumbaya. It's like the actual often healing of karma is the release, is like finally we have the power, we have the strength, we have the means to walk away from situations, to start fresh, and that's the rebirth. That's finally we can see the situation, and that's the healing of the situation. We can sometimes feel the pain of it, and yet that's the healing of it. That pain has always been harbored, otherwise we wouldn't be in these low level codependent situations with people, and it's up to us ultimately to break free from them. And that's part of why I'm seeing this or saying this about you going it alone, which is really, really monumental, Scorpio. So excellent, amazing work. I look forward to hearing about what's going on with you guys this coming year, and ultimately just have an amazing year. Trust yourself, listen to yourself. You've got this, Scorpio. So I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a wonderful 2020, and I look forward to seeing you in the monthly readings. Take care, you guys. Peace out.